Hey everyone, Emmanuel here. In this video, I'm going to show you something called square breathing. So square breathing, very similar to triangle breathing, but square breathing involves an inhale, a breath hold, an exhale, and a breath hold. So you have these 4 points, consequently the term square breathing. Very challenging, probably the more difficult one of all the breathings that I've trained with. So not something you should probably start with. You should have probably trained a lot with the pendulum breathing, the inhale, then an exhale that normally swings back, the triangle breathing with an inhale, an exhale, and a breath hold. And then you would start to add square breathing, which again will challenge your breathing a little bit more. The trick with all this stuff is always to keep things as calm as you can. So don't train yourself to panic. So you do this stuff over a period of time, and slowly your body gets comfortable with these situations rather than forcing yourself to do the breath work to a point where it panics you. You want to teach your body that you're in control of the breathing and everything is good. So we'll start with some basic ones just from a seated position, and then you can add it to almost any exercise or running or walking. But it's best at first just to start from a seated position or lying down, whichever you feel comfortable. So we'll start simply, let's start with number two, just because it's, one might be a little too short. So I breathe in for 2 seconds through the nose. I hold my breath for 2 seconds. I exhale for 2 seconds. I hold my breath for 2 seconds. And you would do this with 3, 4, 5. You just go all the way up the numbers to go as high as you can. I mean, let's try 5, 5, and 5, 4 5s now. So we'll try together, right? So kind of relax yourself, get comfortable, clean your breath a little bit, and slowly, right? So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. And breathe. So you would work your way up as much as you like, to as high a point as you like. Again, I don't know if I've said this in the previous videos, but you want to make, there will be a slight difference between an inhale, an exhale, and a breath hold. But the real trick is to kind of smooth that out so that it's not so sharp. It's like that you really like the inhale, you don't like the exhale, you hate the breath holds. You want to try smooth that out where, it's not like you like or dislike it. It's just something you do, and it's just part of the same cycle, right? In a bigger picture, it's kind of like we don't get too happy when someone is born, and we don't get too sad when somebody passes away. We try to kind of smooth that out where we understand that it's all one big cycle of life. Breath is very simpler. It's one big cycle, and one is maybe a tiny bit different than the other, but don't make it so stark or so extreme. The exact same would exist with push-ups, squats, leg raises, body raises, any exercise that you want to do, walking, running, exact same thing will apply. They'll feel a little bit different. Mind you, different activities will do different things, but think of square breathing as a very challenging, probably one of the most challenging forms of breathing that is out there. And again, you want to bring it to a level where it challenges you, but it doesn't panic you. And I can't stress that enough, because you got to be careful how you train yourself, guys. You can actually train yourself to panic, and you don't want that, right? If you look at any activity that requires you to be super active, super accurate, or super precise, they always tell you to calm down and be in control of what's happening. If you're out of control, no matter what it is, whether it's your words or your actions, or you're scared a little bit, or you panic, it never goes good. So you do this square breathing to a point where it's comfortable, where it's challenging, and you feel a little bit uncomfortable, but not panicked. And that's an important thing for you to understand, is to understand when things are comfortable, they're challenging, they're really challenging, and they're just panicking or annoying or not getting the best out of you, right? Very, very important. You start to build control with your breath, with your mind, and not to agitate it. So try that. I mean, I guess I could show you all the extras if you want, but I don't believe it's necessary right now. Just remember, the inhale is a little bit of a labor. So when I do it, it's a little bit more challenging. The exhale is really a relaxation to me. It's a little bit easier. And then the holds, I'm kind of impartial to. They don't, I can actually, it's almost surreal moments. It's almost like time stands still for me in those moments. And we've all had those in our life, right? Where something just happened and it's like, we're holding our breath. It's like, and it just seems like time is surreal, right? In big sporting moments when somebody's about to do something incredible and there's a moment where everybody's just like holding their breath, it almost seems like time stands still. Think of it, for you it might be different. I'm just expressing for myself what it is. Normal progression would be from a seated or lying down position to walking. And walking, remember, there's forward and backwards. Sometimes those will feel a little bit different. And then I would progress to like a light jog and maybe a run where you're working with this stuff. For those of you that like jogging, you're just jogging or cycling, great training for you. If you just want to focus on that, forget about the kilometers, forget about your pace, just focus on the breathing, and you'll watch how wonderful you'll feel, and how much work there is, how much challenge there is, and how you can control your cadence and your speed with breathing. You might find that it opens up your lungs. You might find that you find a better subconscious breathing pattern. You know, when I do breath holds, to me, it reminds me of what I don't want clearly. So it's like, I might be doing something around the house and I said, well, that's what I feel like when I'm holding my breath. I realized I'm holding my breath. I wouldn't have noticed it, but I remembered the feeling, because I won't remember it at a conscious level. You know, you get busy with life, you start doing stuff, and you just forget about your breathing. Your breathing has to be operating on the subconscious level in a constant way, no matter what you do. You know, think of when you sleep. It's always working. You're not awake at all. So you want to be able to detect when you're holding your breath. And to me, the square breathing, the triangle breathing, square breathing more so, allows me to remember what it feels like when I'm holding my breath on an inhale and also on an exhale as well. So there is a little bit of a difference. Sometimes on a big inhale, and I hold my breath, I feel like I'm burdened, like I feel like I'm carrying unnecessary things. And then when I exhale, hold my breath, I feel that I'm holding the body back because it wants to take that breath in. It feels like I'm you know, it's like, how do you motivate somebody, right? Do you put something in front of them, or are they motivated by something inside them? Right? So both are important. Like, why do people fight, right? Is it because they don't like what's in front of them, or is it because they love what's behind them? I mean, the person will still go forward, but the motivation is quite different. It's a subtle difference, but the results are drastically different. So, and as anybody knows, you know, when the motivation is inside you as compared to in front of you, it's a tiny bit different. Okay, both can get good results, but they are different. And everybody's motivated a little bit different. For myself, it's much more from internal than what external. Other people, it's all external, and you have to come to terms with that. So the square breathing really does show that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Practice this with any physical movement. It really can be anything. You could do it with chin-ups. I mean, you could probably incorporate it in almost any activity you like. Just remember that breath training is very specific, and what you want to do is take time to specifically train in breathing, and then take time to integrate it into what you're doing. But sometimes people try to mask, they don't want to find breath training too boring, but believe me, it is one of the most rewarding things that you can do, and it's a skill that will last you all your life. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I got some work coming up. Take care. Bye-bye.